morning. Buenos dias. I hope you are well, staying positive and focused on what you can control. My name is Patricia Mota, and I am currently serving as President and CEO for the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement, a national nonprofit organization whose mission since 1982 is to positively impact workplaces by cultivating the pipeline of Latino talent, providing Latinx the insight, access, and development to be successful in their careers. Happy Black History Month to everyone. And this year, our theme is Hace Más for your career, Hace Más for Latino talent, and Hace Más to lead. We will be carrying out this theme throughout the year, but also at our National Leadership Summit and HACE's 40th anniversary celebration on April 21st and 22nd. The registration is now open, and we hope you can join us, whether it be in person or virtually. Please check it out. And also, we are promoting scholarships in honor of HACE's 40th anniversary. We will be awarding 40 students from across the country a $2,500 scholarship. Please share with students you know, your networks, your family members. We're looking forward to recognize these students. So please help us out. And I'm excited to welcome our special guest today, Clemente Nicado, who is the publisher and founder of Nicado Publishing Company. Buenos dias, Clemente. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Our guests tuning in, you already know, make sure you're networking in the comment section, that you're getting your comments ready to go, you're welcoming our guests, and that you are getting your questions ready. Clemente, thank you for joining us this morning. Clemente is a good friend of the HACE familia. And my first question for you is, how do you like your cafecito prepared?
When I arrived to the United States, to this country, I immediately realized that many things were going to change in my life. But I never thought that I would start drinking Cuban coffee so, in the morning. So see, my wife is like American coffee, so you can easily find Cuban coffee wherever you go. So I had no choice but drink American coffee.
American coffee. Clemente, you talked a little bit about Cuba. Tell us about your cultural background, your background. How did you get to becoming a publisher of Nicado Publishing?
Well, I studied journalism in Havana University. Eventually, I started working in different Cuba newspapers. And then I became an international correspondent covering different issues in different countries. I was in Mexico covering the election. I went to Atlanta to cover the Olympic game. So in 2003, the Chicago Tribune hired me to launch all newspaper here in Chicago. And of course, I came to Chicago in summertime. Winter time is another Chicago, but so I worked in Chicago Tribune for 4 years and a half. In 2007, I launched Negocios Now, first Nicado Publishing Company, then Negocios Now. It was a tremendous honor for me to cover the Hispanic business community in Chicago. So 15 years later, we are here with Negocios Now, trying to highlight Latino community, business community, and professional. So we are very, very lucky to be here in Chicago and meet so many good Latino like you and many others that I know.
Muy bien, and we know, and I know at HACE, que la comunidad latina de negocios que tenemos en Chicago, the Latino business community that we have in Chicago adores Clemente, because Clemente is getting their stories out there. He's getting their stories of challenges and success out there and featuring them. He's also featured a lot of folks from HACE, right? Like myself, our national board chair, Olga Camargo. And so we're super appreciative of that. And Clemente, and I know from time to time, we talk about your cultural background, and this year being Black History Month, we talk about Afro-Latinidad. When, according to the Pew Research Center, 25% of U.S. Hispanic Latinos se identifican como Afro-Latinos, or Afro-Latinos that they identify as. And You identify as part of that community. Can you tell us your background or your experience as an Afro-Latino?
Well, I am Afro Latino, Afro Cubano. I doesn't matter how you can call, but yes, my parents was Afro Cuban, but my grandfather came from Spain, so we have a mix people raised in my family. So yes, as Afro Latino, for me is I'm proud to be Afro Latino because I bring together different culture, Afro culture, Latino, and then so it's something that I appreciate. I have more opportunities also being Afro Latino, but at the same time, I think that we have a challenge to for to be recognized like Afro Latino. That we have I have two minorities in my body. You know, it's a challenge. So when you we have in the United States. Afro, we have a minority for Latino, and we have minority program for African American. So we have two. We have Afro Latino. We have two, but I think that I had an amazing opportunities here in the United States. Many corporations that support negocios now, they know that we are of Afro Latino or we are minority company, minority owned company, and they support me for that. So, and I think it's a good thing to be Afro Latino, Afro minority, and I think that it's good.
Especialmente, well, thank you for sharing your story. Those of you tuning in, our fellow Cubanos, fellow Afro-Cubanos, Afro-Latinos, we want to hear from you. Share your comments in the chat, share with others. Clemente, to your point, I think that there's a huge opportunity, a huge need to create greater awareness. And just by you sharing your own story and your experience, you're helping us do that as well. And such a need to be able to continue to do that. You've done so much for the Latino community, and you talk about the opportunities that have been lended to you, of course, because of the way that you proudly identify, but also because of the talent, right? As a journalist, as a publisher that you bring to the table. And that being said, what are some of the things that you look to do, continue to do, as you continue to expand your publication nationally? And what can some of our audience members look forward to?
Well, you know, we created a little fighter department in Nicado Publishing Company because we now are producing not only negocios now print. We have negocios now digital. We have El Chicago Hispano, a community paper that we print 500,000 copies, over 1 million readers. So we have who's who in Hispanic business. Gala and special edition. We have Latinos 40 on the 40, Los 26 de la 26. So we do so many things because, you know, the time is timing to do that, to recognize the Latino community in general. So by looking forward, we are expanding negocios now in the national level. You know, by producing edition, special edition for the U.S. Hispanic Chamber, promised many times for Philadelphia, for New Mexico, Dallas, etc. But now we are very close to launch the first completely national digital edition of Negocios now, with information from different cities. So we are very, very excited about becoming Negocios now a national publication. It's one of my dreams. And I think that's come through very, very, very short, very, very close.
And it's going to happen. I love the vision that you have, and I know HACE having had launched Mujeres de HACE Entrepreneur Cohort. We need to circle back on that, Clemente. I know we're going to do something special to feature them with Negocios now at some point. So sneak, I guess, peek for folks out there listening in. But also, right, and for those of you tuning in that are looking to really reach the Latino business community, the entrepreneur community. Clemente, what you're doing, I think, is an excellent resource for that. And so we want to make sure that folks hear your story, what you're up to. But I'm biased, so I'm most especially excited because we're going to have a special 40 under 40 in honor of HACE's 40th anniversary. That will be HACE's partners, alumni, that we get to feature in partnership with you. And so we're super appreciative of that. What can you tell us about 40 under 40?
Well, 40 under 40 is something have impact that I never imagined that. So we created 40 under 40 when I realized that who is who core entrepreneurs, mainly from 40, 50, 60, and I was leaving behind a lot of Latino that didn't receive any coverage, didn't receive any recognition, at least here in Chicago. So, and where I talking about recognition in media, not recognition in organization. So I created Latino 40 under 40 to expand not only the coverage of negocios now, but to recognize this Latino and Latina like you, and spread the word not only in Chicago but other cities. So for me, it's an honor to profile Latinos 40 under 40 for HACE. Your organization has been tremendous, amazing job trying to recognize not only in Chicago but across the country the Latino and Latina for many, many years before Negocios Now was born. And partnership with you is something that I appreciate a lot. With that you partner with Negocios Now to do that, and I will try to do the best that I can to covering HACE for many years to come.
Oh, mil gracias, Clemente. Thank you. Thank you. Those of you tuning in, please, we want to hear from you, your questions. Clemente is going to share with us, too, how to get a hold of him. So we want to continue the conversation as well. Clemente, we also have, porque this year we're talking about people, hace más is the theme. What are you going to do more for your career, more for Latinos, more for leading? Part of your trajectory is not, but is not an easy one. Do you have any advice for the entrepreneur that's looking to get started, or even specifically in publishing, because it's so unique?
Well, you say advice. The first advice, do what you want to do. Don't give up and try to do the best that you can. But also try to do something that you know how to do it. Because is sometimes when I see someone say, I'm going to open a business or a restaurant because I saw that this guy in the corner is doing great. So, but you have to know what do you do. So you can be a financial advisor if you don't know about finance. You can be a publisher if you don't know about the industry. So, but the opportunities is here in us. We have an amazing opportunity right now to move forward and open business and try to change your life, your career in the successful way. So the advice is don't give up. If you have an idea, go ahead, try. And you have amazing support from many long grants, advisors, Chamber of Commerce, many people that can advise. You made the decision to open a business.
Muy bien. So don't give up, and then be a master at your craft, right? Making sure that whatever industry that you're going in or looking to grow in, that you become that subject matter expert in that area so that you can do well, like yourself, right? You talk about your background in publishing or in journalism, and then being able to launch your own publishing company as well, and do something good with it, because you're featuring Latinos in media, which there's still such a huge need to do, right? And ensuring that we're doing that and supporting you to do that as well. And so all of you, please continue to share, comment if you have any questions. Clemente, one thing we always like to ask as well is a positive story or anything that gives you hope for this year.
So could you repeat the question again?
What are you most hopeful for this year?
Well, for this year, I want to we have Latino 40 on the 40 here in Chicago in April. We have Latino 40 on the 40 in New York. But before we're gonna have Latino 40 on the 40 HACE. Then we're gonna have Negocios Now Gala in July. Then Latino 40 on the 40 in LA and Houston. So we have a very, very busy year. So I'm looking forward to having support from our community, not only here but in the national level, and try to to do the best that we can in order to have Negocios Now nationally.
Muy bien. We have comments like our good friend Jose Suarez, HACE's advisory council member, saying thank you, Clemente, for featuring stories. We really appreciate you. So a lot of great kudos, Clemente, to you for the work that you're doing. Those of you tuning in, like Clemente said, make sure that you don't give up, be a master at your craft. And how do we stay in touch with you, Clemente? How do they folks follow you or connect with you?
Well, we have around 37,000 people in the social media. So go to Negocios Now, Facebook page, LinkedIn. We have 2 pages in LinkedIn. So go to negociosnow.com, share the news, our articles. This is the way that we can support. You can attend to our event. Great. It's not necessary to support Negocios Now. So just follow us.
Muy bien. Thank you, Clemente. Thank you to each of you tuning in. We appreciate your time, your insights, and for everything that you do for the Latino community, Clemente. A todos, hasta la próxima. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.